October the 17th, 1941. I have spent the last 9 days grounded. Cleop and Innocenti have taken over leading patrols in the meantime, while I am confined to my dugout and buried in paperwork. My injuries from my last engagement were not severe, I am happy to say. Once the medics were done picking shrapnel out of my skin, I got a visit from Boris, my chief mechanic. I am reliably informed that every squadron has a Boris. He is a large, hairy man with a moustache like a yard brush, and seems to possess an innate and mystical knowledge of machines. Back in England, this role would usually be occupied by an Irk from East London, typically called something like Dave or Bill, but here we have Boris. He offered his expert opinion by looking me up and down, placing a bottle of vodka on the adjacent table and saying, "Drink this, you will be fine. Back in cockpit in 1 week." His medical opinions aside, I could not ask for a better chief mechanic, as the speed with which he and his team get damaged aircraft turned around is remarkable. Luiza was kind enough to drive down to Varvarovka to retrieve my damaged Hurricane after their ground crews had patched up the most important holes. And after she landed it back at Zenino, Boris and his moustache men got to work, and within days had it shipshape and ready to fly again. Luiza, meanwhile, has impressed me. I must confess I was originally quite dismissive of the notion of a female combat flyer, but she has surprised all of us by repeatedly demonstrating a talent for dogfighting that exceeds any of her contemporaries. She currently holds the squadron record for victories, excepting myself. We'll see what becomes of her. Talent is not enough in this business, unfortunately. It must be tempered with a reasonable sense of caution and a healthy pinch of luck. It was very common in the sound and fury of summer last year for young chaps exactly like her to go out, down a few aircraft in quick succession, and in the midst of their overconfidence be knocked out of the sky by some steely-eyed old Jerry they didn't see coming. At the moment, at least, however, things seem a little quieter. The speculation is that the autumn mud has been a disaster for Fritz's supply lines, and it's left many of his aircraft grounded for lack of fuel. It won't last forever, of course. Once the winter frost really sets in, they'll be right back to the millstone. Let's hope we'll be ready for it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome once again back to IL-2 Battle of Moscow, where we're out on another combat air patrol this time. No bombing ground targets, just going to go out there and try and shoot down some German planes. The sky today is hopefully going to be filled with Soviet fighters, because today not only we are going up there to do a bit of combat air patrol, there's also a squadron of I-16s and a squadron of MiG-3s that are going to be out and about doing the same darn thing in the same area. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the sky will be swarming with Russians and Ukrainians and all the rest. You know, it's the Soviet Union after all, but you get the idea. Lots and lots of planes with red stars on them about the place. It's been some time since the last mission we flew. It's now the 17th of October. Old Jimmy was laid up for about 9 days, recovering from his wounds. In the meantime, the Germans have pushed out down here, and good old Varvarovka, our friends with their amazing AAA gun batteries were based, has been completely overrun. Now the Germans own the damn place, which is a bit of a shame. We're, however, going to be going on a bit of an expedition up north, one of our longer flights so far, actually. We're going to be heading all the way up here to patrol over this area. I say this area very vaguely because I don't really know what to call it. But, yeah, this is where the Germans are making a push up north. There's actually a Soviet counterattack happening a bit further south as well, so we might encounter some Germans on the way there who are intent on attacking some of our troops at this location. We'll find out, I suppose. If we do, though, I will happily blow them out of the sky. Could do with shooting a few Stukas and then going home today after last week. Say last week. I don't know how often I'm going to upload these episodes, to be fair, but hey. That's about the shape of things, though. Our number 2 today is Luiza. With her 2 kills, makes her, after Jimmy, the most successful pilot in the squadron so far. In fact, in between episodes, she was awarded the Order of the Red Star, so she got herself a medal. At the back, we've got Frowny Alexei, and I can't remember who the other chap was, I'm afraid. Off the top of my head, I didn't write it down. I probably should have. I'm not sure who the other fellow is, but yeah, it's a 4-ship again today. I can't. With the squadron numbers being as low as they are, I don't really like the idea of bringing out any more than just 4 of us. I also don't like the idea of bringing out any less than 4 of us either. 4 seems to be the optimal number here, but anyway. As you can see, the weather is shocking. The windsock over there is yeah, it's windy. And we've got a crosswind on takeoff as well, which is just lovely. So, alright, off we go. And up and away. Frankly, I'm still surprised that we're even at Zanino here up. I am a little bit amazed the place hasn't been completely overrun by now. Alright. It's a shame that Luigi doesn't have any female voice lines. And I say this because voice lines for female Soviet pilots do exist in the game. It is the thing. Flight lead orders, format. Get over here, you lot. Come on. They do exist, but the thing is you have to be flying a Yak-1 and you have to take the female pilot as a sort of loadout option, hilariously enough, from the menu in order to have female voiceovers for your pilot. It doesn't seem to be doable for the AI pilots though, sadly. Go ahead and close the canopy now. Take a little look at the map here, see what kind of general direction we want to be going in right now. Take it to the left a little bit. Cloud level's pretty darn low today, so we're not going to be doing any high altitude stuff, I don't think. Let's take a little bit back to the right, actually. Yes, about there is good, I think. Since Luisa is flying with us, and since she might very well get shot down today, and that'll be the last we see of her, might be worth mentioning a few things about female Soviet pilots that you may not have known about. The first thing being, women were allowed to join the Soviet military ever since 1917. There was no formal ban on women serving in the military, interestingly enough. The thing was, particularly in the case of the Air Force, a lot of them applied to join at the outbreak of war, but a lot of their applications were kind of, well, they ran into red tape, to put it euphemistically. They were blocked and they were, you know, discarded, and for reasons that I can't figure out beyond it simply being sexism. A lot of their applications were just simply denied on trumped up reasons. One of the most famous female Soviet aces of the war, Lydia Litviak, actually had to lie on her application and say she had an extra 100 hours of flying versus what she actually had in order to be accepted. Now, a lot of people know about the Night Witches, which was a all-female squadron of Soviet pilots who flew biplanes. They flew PO2s, and they were night bombers. They flew over German lines at night and dropped bombs on them from low altitude. And the Germans nicknamed them the Night Witches because they cut their engines, or at least they idled their engines as they went in on their attack runs, and it made very little noise, so it was likened to, you know, witches on broomsticks flying over and dropping bombs on them. A lot of people know about that because it's sort of an internet pop history sort of trivia nugget that a lot of people have spread around the place. What people may not know, however, is that the Night Witches were only one of 3 all-female Soviet squadrons. There were 3 of them. One was the Night Witches, another one was a bomber squadron which consisted entirely of PE-2 Peshkas. Although it didn't stay an all-female squadron for very long because the dorsal turret on the Peshka requires someone quite tall to operate the gun, and unfortunately women on average tend to be a bit shorter than men, so they had to get a few male gunners on board to man those top turrets in the end. And the other squadron was a squadron of Yak-1s. It was a fighter squadron, and that's the one that I believe Lydia Litviak joined. Interestingly, though, she didn't stay there. She moved on to an all-male squadron, which she joined, and that's where she stayed for the rest of the war until she was shot down and killed. I see you've all caught up. Jolly good. Let's increase the throttle a bit now. Now, what was interesting about Lydia in particular is that she was the first female pilot to shoot down an enemy aircraft in history. And she made history in style because the guy she shot down was a German ace, who I believe was called Erwin Meyer, I think. He had like 11 kills or something to his name at the time he was shot down by her. And he bailed out, and he was captured by the Russians, and he demanded to be shown to the pilot who shot him down, because apparently this guy was absolutely full of himself. And when he was told that it was a woman who shot him down, he thought he was being the victim of a practical joke, until Lydia sat down with him and explained to him in exacting detail exactly how the fight had gone. And then he realised that it wasn't a joke and she wasn't kidding. Which I think is a marvellous bit of comeuppance, if you ask me. Anyway, that's all I have to say on that subject. With a bit of luck, our Luisa here will live up to that legend. She's already got herself a medal and 2 kills. On the other hand, knowing our luck, she's probably going to get shot down today. We'll find out, I guess. It's going to be a bit of a flight, isn't it? We're not even halfway there. I'll see you when I see you, folks. Don't mind me, just watching a ground battle taking place down there somewhere. It looks like it's on a road. Must be an important road. Anyway, radar controls apparently have some trade for us in this general direction, judging by the map. We're currently on an intercept course with something. I heard the MiG squadron going in after some enemies earlier. They were apparently engaging some attack planes. I hope this is more attack planes, frankly, because I would prefer that to a squadron of Messerschmitts. Had enough Messerschmitts for one lifetime, and yet I'm sure I will get plenty more regardless. You know what's kind of annoying, actually, is I think the enemy's coming directly from the sun, which is never great. Yeah, we're hanging a bit of a sharp left turn here, boys and girls. Do keep up. No, I'm starting to get a horrible feeling they're in the clouds. I feel like we should have spotted them by now. Well, we definitely should have spotted them by now. Sure we don't get the altitude info, eh? Because that's what you would get that in real life. Oh wait, no, hang on a minute. I see dots. Alright, boys and girls, we need to climb. I need to be kissing the cloud layer. As we go after whatever these are. Hope you can keep up. Now is the time for speed. For checking 6 o'clock. I count 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. I count a 4th dot behind us. That's not good. I say radar. What's that? It's another plane behind us going in a different direction. Possibly. What are these then? I mean, it's almost impossible to tell from this distance, but just something about the silhouette that is about 3 pixels wide says Stuka to me. Perhaps that's just wishful thinking, though. There's nothing on radar about them, I don't think. No, not seeing anything. They're well and truly on the German side of the lines. I think some of them are in the clouds. There's one down below there. See, now I can't decide whether to go back after that chap back there or whether to go after these ones here. I think we better go after these ones here. I'm just worried about being on the German side of the lines, where we can be shot at by flak. And if we bail out, we're getting captured. How are the temperatures doing? Not too bad. My God, these guys are further away than I thought, apparently. You right back there, everybody? Uh-oh. You are still there, right? Yeah, they are. They're just lagging behind a bit. That looks Stuka-ish to me. Hang on a minute. Is there an airbase near here? There's one there. Because I don't want to follow this guy to an airbase and then make the same mistake that the Germans routinely make. Oh, someone's having some luck out there. I see Stukas up above the clouds. Let's go get him. Come on, boys and girls. Oh, but you're so slow. I mean, I'm not exactly fast, but zooming away from you. I'm losing these guys, you know. Ah, sod it. I give up. I don't want to get dragged halfway to Germany. Alright folks, well apparently it's all quiet on the Eastern Front, amazingly. The Germans have decided not to come out and play. Aside from that squadron of Stukas, I've seen nothing, and there's been nothing on radar either. However, there is AAA down there, and it's shooting some of our friends at the minute, and there's a machine gun down there somewhere that's shooting at us as well, so I'm going to give everybody the order. Patrol for ground enemies. Our mission orders are to shoot down planes as a priority, but if not, prowl around for some ground targets. Something in that tree line shooting at us. And it's scarily accurate as well, actually. It's like some infantry or a machine gun or something like that. Nice if the others would go for it, frankly, while it's distracted with me. What are you all doing? Here, I'm shooting at someone else, now's the chance. See if I can acquire... There it is. Man, I really sprayed that position with machine gun fire. Didn't seem to do much, did it? Let's have another go. Dreadful. Dreadful. Dreadful technique. Who's that over there? My guy's up above me. Are you friend or foe? You are friend. Anti-aircraft gun or machine gun or whatever it is, I want it dead. I might as well try to achieve something productive today. I've noticed it's not shooting anymore, to be fair. The crew might have abandoned it. There we go. Well, thanks for the help, everybody. You really got stuck in there, didn't you? Circling up there just below the clouds. Thanks, guys. We're flying right over the spot on the map where the German attack is supposed to be coming in from. It's pretty much why I'm here. I'm just looking for Germans to shoot. It was a Flak 36 AAA gun, apparently. There's not a lot here, though, is there? We felt like pushing further into German territory. Might be able to find a train or a convoy, but they would be arguably quite well defended. So, in a way, less appealing. Where are you guys? I can hear them flying around. Where are you? There they go. Orders. Follow me. I think it's time for us to go home. As any other German ground troops want to reveal their position very obligingly by shooting at us. I was kind of hoping that our guys would be able to spot some if I told them to patrol for ground targets. They seem to have keener eyes than me when it comes to that. Ooh. Speak of the devil. Anti-aircraft gun over here, apparently. Shooting at either the MiGs or the Ishaks. Would you care to open fire at them again so I can see where you are? Hit the boost on. Close up the canopy. There it is somewhere. Oh, hello. There you are. Patrol. Ground enemies. One of you would like to engage that. Right, it's already shooting at someone else. In we go. There we go. Alright, Lewis is engaging a tank. Well, honestly, I'm not sure what you're going to achieve with those machine guns, Lewis, but you have fun. Engaging firing point. It sounds like it might be artillery or something. You are all Hurricanes, right? You're all on my side, right? I really can't see ground units very well with the cockpit closed. You all say you're engaging tanks, but you're not, are you, really? You're just circling. Philip! That was the other guy we brought with us today. Philip finally recovered from his wounds while we were off as well. So it's a high time he got back in the cockpit as well. Oh, hello. I see you. Two little emplacements down here. Stupid machine guns being ineffective. Whoa! Oh boy. There we go. Whew. He started shooting at me then. I thought I might be a goner. Yeah, you're all trying to engage the tanks, aren't you? But you don't have any weapons to actually do it with. So you're not getting an awful lot done. Oh, hello. Yeah, there's loads of stuff down here. That's a tank, yeah. Suppressed them a bit, I guess. Yeah, there's a whole platoon of German tanks here. There's nothing we can really do about any of them. This is why we need cannons. The Hurricane is actually quite an effective tank buster when you give it cannons, but we won't get those for a while. I don't want to shoot those emplacements down there next to the tanks because I think those are friendly, what's left of them. I think this is the road we saw earlier that was being fought over. I heard an explosion then, I don't know if we got anything. Looks like my outer guns are out of ammo. Well, I think we've done what we can here, haven't we, really? It's probably time we got home. Besides, fuel is becoming an issue at the moment. So... yes. I'm going to go back. I think there's one more machine gun nest down there, I think, that I haven't taken out. I think it's this one here. Oh, if this turbulence could let up for a minute and actually let me shoot straight. Alright, there we go, that's the lot. Let's get out of here, boys and girls. Orders, follow me. Relieving, oh. We just got that repaired. Ugh. Alright. Okay, ladies and gents, let's get out of here. Don't mind that red contact on the map just there, by the way. That's an old contact that I think is long since faded. I checked that area out earlier and there's nothing there. Yeah, alright. Time for us to go home. It's going to be a bit of a long flight home as well, but might as well make ourselves comfy then in that case, I suppose, actually. Nobody else around to harass us, I take... Okay, was that just a sun glinting off my canopy, or was that traces that just came up from the ground? It's hard to say sometimes, you know? Anyway. Guys, the way you come up behind me like that, it scares the crap out of me. There was an unwritten rule among fighter pilots in World War II, which was not precisely to do not that. Come up directly behind someone on their 6 o'clock. But the AI in IL-2 is obviously not quite that smart, so... Anyway. Let's put the engine back to cruise setting. Folks, I'll see you for the landing. Alright folks, home sweet home, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you may land. Don't crash into each other. Should we buzz the tower? Not sure that's in King's regulations, you know, but considering we're in the Soviet Union, I guess King's regulations don't really apply. So give that little chap that's always perpetually walking around next to it a bit of a shock. There he is. Woohoo! Little victory roll as well. Into the bargain. Right. Clowning around, let's go and land. Get down. Two greens. Flaps. Got the HUD off at the minute, so I'm looking at the actual indicator in the cockpit, even though it's bloody awkward to look at. There we go, full flaps. Let's not stall. Or balloon, please. Actually, no, let's put us on quite a nice approach. Bit of nose down trim, though, if you please. This is where I crash on landing and we end the career. After the world's most uneventful mission. She wasn't that uneventful. And to tell you the honest truth, it's not like I didn't enjoy just flying around for a bit with my chums, not getting shot down. Or as, like, you know, 90% bored and 10% dangerous. About time we experience some of the boredom, if you ask me. There we go. Oops, steady with the brakes there. There's the tower. So I'm going to go taxi over to the tower and say hello to the chaps. Check I didn't give them a heart attack. They seemed pretty nonplussed from what I saw out of the window, to be fair. Inspect the damage as well when we get when we put the engine off. Have a look outside. I don't think there's much. Probably just a few holes in the wing. Nothing we can't patch up with a bit of tape. And no, I'm not kidding. They used tape. If it was just a hole, they put some tape over it. Job done. Special red tape, the same as they use on the gun ports. See, red tape is good for something. Hello, chaps. We're back. Everybody's aborting their landing approach at the moment, apparently. You doing alright over there, Igor? There we go. Chalk up another sortie done. Let's have a look. What's the damages? Oh man, this free camera is difficult. I'm gonna be honest. I should just... Yep, there we go. Let's do this instead. It looks like... Yes. A string of 4 holes from a ground machine gun straight through the wing. Must have... I don't see any real holes in the... I see 1 or 2 holes on the bottom, I think, but for the most part it looks to me like... I think there's 1 hole in the bottom, 4 in the top. So, if I had to guess, they took some shots at us when our angle was onto them was something like this. Or like this, when we were turning away. And it went pew, 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 pew right across the top bottom there, and only 1 of the bullets came out the other side, it looks like. Oh wait, no, there's another hole on the front of the wing as well. But that's it. So I think a couple of the bullets are still in there. Rattling around. Anyway, folks, I'll see you in the debriefing. Alright, here we go. Continue with claims, none to make. I imagine this debriefing is going to be a lot of ground units shooting at each other and not a lot else. Although I think the mix squadron managed to bag a couple of Ju-88s, judging by the in-game results screen. So, there you go, right there, right at the top. Ju-88C6 was brought down by... When it's finished, we'll find out. Look, I managed to damage a Panzer, but I did virtually nothing to it. I repeatedly damaged a Panzer many, many times, it looks like, with my 303s. I think I pretty much just gave them a headache, if I'm honest. Anyway, yes, Ju-88 was brought down by Alexei. Wait, what? You guys shot down it? That can't be right. Something seems a bit wrong about that, if I'm honest. Alexei has somehow been credited with a Ju-88 kill, but that seems impossible. We never saw any Ju-88s. Unless he randomly broke off at one point to go chase some. But I don't remember him doing that. Weird. We'll just have to pretend that happened on a different mission, I guess. I'm not sure what that was about. Anyway. Yes, lots and lots of ground combat. Yes, one of the MiG-3s bagged a Ju-88. That's what I was expecting to see. Yeah, we blew up an anti-aircraft gun, another anti-aircraft gun, another anti-aircraft gun. We shot that Panzer a bunch of times, and I destroyed a AAA machine gun as well. Jolly good. A few more ground kills to chalk up on the board, I suppose. Debrief complete. And Alexei somehow managed to get credit for a Ju-88. I don't know when he managed that, but... You're not doctoring the books, are you, mate? You're not, We should probably put someone else in charge of the paperwork from now on. Anyway. Yes. Finished. There we go. Alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not the most exciting mission ever, but on the other hand, I kind of enjoyed it. I like shooting at a few ground units with the guys, and I like the fact that everybody survived for once. Makes up for the disaster that was the mission before this, frankly. If you ask me. Poor Inokenti is still injured, apparently, but he'll get better eventually, I'm sure. What we really need is some replacements, honestly. I want to see the roster board going all the way down to, like, here. Right now, it's like, the squadron's practically at half strength right now, and it's not good. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. I might have to take some leave. You go to activity here, you can go leave, and for ages I didn't realise what that did. I thought it meant leave as in leave the menu. No, it means actually request leave. You can take like a week off if you want to. As a squadron leader, it's probably within our prerogative to just say, right, I'm not going to do any more missions this week. You know, we'll let Gleb and Alexei lead a few flights while I catch up on paperwork and rest the old injured leg, you know. And I do find actually sometimes when you do that, when you do request leave, even just for 7 days, your roster gets replenished much faster than if you actually stuck it out for ages. But anyway. So, ladies and gents, thank you very much for tuning in. Looks like Alexei has managed to somehow wrangle himself that Ju-88 and is now even Stevens with Luiza for number of kills. Starting to climb up there, though. You guys have got 2. Kenti has 1. I've got 5. Slowly working towards upgrading our squadron status to something other than novice. I did notice, though, I don't know if it's still the case, but one of the 109 squadrons that's gotten an absolute battering lately has downgraded from elite to veteran. Which one was it? I think they're up here somewhere. 2 JG52 is elite. 1 JG52. Yes, 1 JG52. They've been downgraded to veteran. So that's our fine work there. Well, us and the AAA gunners on the ground are responsible for that. I think it's mostly the AAA gunners, if I'm honest. Although I'm pretty sure Luiza's shot down a couple of 109s, hasn't she? Yeah, if we go intelligence report, enemy. Grippo Catcher is still licking its wounds. They have actually more pilots right now than they do planes. And is it 1 JG51, 1 G50? Yeah, 1 JG52. Stationed at Sichevka. Their call sign is also Rook, apparently. They're opposite number, I guess. And yeah, they're down to not many pilots. If you compare that with some of the others, I'm pretty sure they had even less than this. They've had a few replenished recently, but yeah. Anyway, so actually, let's see. What have you killed, Luiza? I want to catch up on everybody's kills. What have they been up to? She killed a Ju-87. And you killed a 109 F2. Yeah, she killed a 109 F2. That's no easy feat, you know. Well done. What about Alexei? What's he killed? Wrong Alexei. Whoops. This one. What have you killed? A 109 F4 and a Ju-88. Well done. Assuming you actually did it and you didn't just lie again. Who else has got kills? Inokenti has a kill. What did you get? A Ju-88. Fair enough. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. I hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one, which will probably be a bit more bloodthirsty than this one, I'm sure. There will be blood, and most of it will probably be ours, I'm sure. Till then, toodaloo. Hold the phone one moment before I go. I was just looking through the paperwork here, and I discovered I shot down an ace. I didn't realise it. Benito Serafini here. This guy, one of the many MC-202s we shot down on that one mission. Benito Serafini was an ace. He's on the top aces exclude historical. There he is. Benito Serafini. He had 6 air kills and 1 ground kill. He had all of those to his name until he got shot to bits by moi. So there you go, I killed an ace. Who are the top aces in our service right now? It looks like it's me and apparently Yegor Zuganov. Who's this guy? He's flying P-40s apparently. Yeah, the AI's been having some luck with the P-40s, admittedly. That's certainly true. We've only had them in a couple of missions, but one of them they were in where they were doing fighter duty. I think were they escorting us? I don't remember. But they killed a lot of 109s. I remember that much. But yeah. It's weird. It's weird, man. The P-40, the AI seems to love the P-40. I am useless with it. I'm useless with it. It's very heavy. It can't climb. It can't turn very well. So I struggle to understand what you're supposed to do with it, if I'm honest with you. I'm a bit rubbish with planes that can't either climb or turn well. I just don't... This goes for pretty much all American fighters. I don't get it. I can't figure them out, how you're supposed to fly them. Other than to make sure you always come in above the enemy and then dive on them. But that applies to anything you're flying, you know. I like the planes that can climb really well or turn well, because they have options when the shit hits the fan and you come in at co-altitude with an enemy who's got the same amount of energy as you. If you can climb or you can turn, you have options. If you can't do either of those things, you're pretty boned. And that's what I find a lot when I've tried to use the P-40 in the past. I really want to like it. It's a gorgeous looking plane, very famous, it's an iconic aircraft, and yet I'm useless with it in the game. I really am. Completely hopeless. Constantly get shot down in it all the time, have no success whatsoever. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, wasn't it? Yeah. One of these, I almost did a campaign in the P-40 actually, for the very specific reason of trying to improve my ability to fly it. But I chickened out in the end and went for the Hurricane. I went back to my comfort zone. But anyway, that's it. I've talked enough. Thanks very much, ladies and gents. Catch you next time.